Hey guys, I'm back on the Bruce Flex Market update, so let's get started. So I want to quickly go over how the boxes that were affected by the TG player sale one day, how they're doing. So for Fusion Strike and Lost Origin, the two boxes I think are still going to do pretty well. Their sales are still kind of slow the next day. There's one sale yesterday, and for Lost Origin, it's the same thing. At one sale. And so, yeah, the selling rate isn't really high enough for the price to really change that much at the moment, especially when I look at the recent sales. So that applies for Lost Origin and Fusion Strike. For these three boxes, Chilling Reign, Paldea, Paradox, the demand's actually kind of picking up a little bit. So, Chilling Reign, five boxes, that's actually a lot more than normal. I don't know if that's probably because people, you know, there's a little FOMO going on, so I want to see what happens actually like over today and the next few days. But five boxes. The story with these three boxes is that even with the demands that they have from yesterday, it's still not enough to raise the market price to like the next level. There's still too many listings for Chilling Reign at the 325 price. For Paldea, it's 12 boxes, which is a little lower than before actually. And then yeah, there's especially like Heavy Tech and a lot of other sellers are just like selling too many boxes at the low price, and Paradox at 175. Like honestly, like this is too low for Paradox. Since everything else is going up. Um, like the next cheapest box is like Scarlet and Violet base at 188, or like I guess pretty good to Battle Styles or Rivet Voltage. But yeah, it just seems too cheap. So yeah, I think it has to go up like eventually, but as of like tomorrow, yeah, Heavy Tech has the boxes at 21, and there's other sellers selling at that price. Okay, so for the other boxes, and I'm gonna skip over boxes that um didn't nothing really happened to, because like they're just in, like these videos are taking a little too long. I don't want to waste your guys' time. But for Rebel Clash has finally increased in price, so I'm gonna ignore this 245 sale because that was sort of a sale. So someone bought like a really cheap box, Rebel Clash that was there for a few days. I think I see like a 230 sale, and then the price was usually around 300, and now it's like gone to next level 308. So that's kind of a good sign for Rebel Clash. It hasn't really seen a price increase in a very long time. The last time it saw a price increase was I think maybe the 13th. Yeah, on the 13th, it kind of increased from about like 250 to 300. And like this isn't like a huge price increase, but we haven't seen any in like, what is that, like 2 to 3 weeks, something like that. So yeah, I'm looking at Rebel Clash. Social Base, something happened. Darkness Ablaze. Um, like three out of the 13 boxes at the price point were sold, but there's still like a bunch left. The Evolution Battle Style is not really worth talking about. Nothing too pressing there. So Evolving Skies, like it's still selling about like one a day. Yeah, as I said before, the potential for it to increase is technically there because like there's some sellers who have like less than 100% feedback. People might not want those. Like so, there's two boxes, and then if you look at the price differentiations, like this is like 13.15, 13.20, and then you go to 13.30, and then like so you can go to 13.30. It's not too far off. You account for people that you might want to skip. You might want to skip this one. You might want to skip this one because 80 something percent. So there's only really one box here at like 13.15, and it goes to 13.30. For Evolving Skies though, that's not really a huge change because it's such an expensive booster box and the price changes so much. But there's that. Otherwise, Evolving Skies is still pretty slow. I want to talk about Brilliant. So Brilliant has been kind of slow at this price at 290 for a really long time, but there was an uptick in sales last 2 days, like five and then eight yesterday, and like this was Pokemon Day, so five sold Pokemon Day, and there was no sale or anything. But yesterday there was a larger amount being sold, and it's at the point where it could really go to the next price point kind of easily. There's only really these two sellers at 290, and this one has 0% feedback, so people might not buy anyway. So you get to 295, and then like quickly after that you get to 300. So Vomit Skies, like honestly, people really like the set. It's a Charizard set, and um, I think people might be thinking that it's not too far off from some of the other discount boxes of like Brilliant Star. I mean, Astral Radiance Silver Tempest, so they might want to buy it now. But yeah, I've been waiting for it to pick up and finally starting to see signs that it might pick up, especially if this demand sort of stays the same or yeah at 8. Astral Radiance, I've been saying pretty much the same thing, but demand hasn't really picked up as much. Like there's sometimes these 3 or 5 boxes being sold. But yeah, it'll still be able to increase the next price point potentially. It's been at 260 for a little bit, and then 265 is over here, and then 274 is over here, and that's not that many boxes. That's like um, 7 boxes, 74, and to 265. That's like 4 boxes. Um, Silver Tempest is the one I'm looking out for because it's like it really is. If you look at the colors, Silver Tempest just keeps steadily increasing. And there's even a Pokemon Day sale for that. So even with that, the price is still kind of like increasing. I just think yeah, like compared to the other discount sets, like Brilliant Stars and Astral Radiance don't really have an alt art that people are like, oh, I really want to open that. Like they're like, you just get that feeling. For Silver Tempest, like they're like, oh, the Lugia. All the best sets have like a main chase card, like Umbreon, Giratina, and Gengar. Those are a lot of the oh, I really want to open it for that card. Um, they just don't really like. There's kind of the Charizard in Brilliant Stars, but people don't really. It just doesn't have the same feeling, and I'm kind of seeing that the data basically. But yeah, there weren't that many sold yesterday. It was like 1 and 2 sold today. Um, but yeah, if I look at the price points, like it just keeps going up like a little bit. It's very gradual. But yeah, this is like 260 and then 262. Um, and then let's look at the next page, and this is 265. So like yeah, it's gone up from like 240 to 260 in about 11 days, which isn't it's not fast, but it's definitely moving. And I think that it's just a sign that people's perceptions of it are changing. And that's really what affects the price, people's perceptions. Um, Obviously, it basically supply and demand things. All right, so the Scarlet Violet boxes, they're doing better in like any sort of recovery or like any sort of demand because they just that's what they do. But Scarlet Violet base, it seems like maybe the demand has kind of gone back down to about 10 boxes a day. Um, the price keeps staying the same around this 188 mark. It's not that boxes aren't selling for like I see 190s over here. It's just that every now and then I guess when I check, there's like a seller with like 188, but it's basically a $109 box. There's still enough boxes that it's gonna kind of stay there at this demand rate for at least another day or two. But yeah, it definitely is holding pretty steady. Um, Obsidian Flames, it finally went up. I think it's a new all-time high. I just kind of looked back. So 194. I didn't really see it ever being. Oh wait, is that Obsidian? Is that Paradox? The rows are kind of getting mixed. Yeah, I've seen it at 192. I haven't seen 194. So this is a new all-time high for Obsidian Flames as far as like I can tell. Um, the man has been a lot more steady if I just look at the general trend. Like you see over here, the bars, there's some big ones, but they're not as high. They're usually like 4 or 6. This is more like 8 to 10 sold a day for the last uh, 6 days. So that's a pretty good sign. So the price has finally gone up, and as far as the next price point, there's 200 over here, so it could be finally time for Obsidian to make its run. Um, Twilight. So Twilight is one of the only boxes that I actually saw went down. It went down about like $8. But if I look at um, the listings, it's basically about the same price because there's only 2 boxes at that 230 price, and it goes to 236 automatically. Um, and this one has 98% feedback. Uh, Demand has been on the lower end, but not hasn't completely dropped. But yeah, sometimes it can go up to like 16 to 20, and yesterday was 8. But yeah, Twilight's basically around the same price. And Surging, Stellar. Stellar was also affected by the Pokemon Day sale, There weren't a lot of sales yesterday. I like, oh, wait, actually, no, there were. That was 20. I thought it said 2. So 20 is actually more than normal. So Stellar is actually still selling pretty good as of yesterday. I want to see what happens today. But yeah, but even if I look at the listings, like, it's only one listing for 190 and it goes to 190, 95 automatically. So Stellar seems also to be one of the ones that are that's gonna increase pretty soon. And then last one, surging. It's the same price as yesterday. Demand is still pretty strong at this price at 20 boxes a day. Like this is selling more than other Scarlet Violet boxes, and it's even higher priced. Um, yeah, the it seems like a lot of the boxes are still at that price point, but it's just good. Demand is kind of holding steady. All right, that's it for today's video. Thanks, guys. Bye.